Alright, y'all, I have a battle here against Claytus420. And this guy has a pretty interesting team that he's going to come at me against. And yeah, now you can go ahead and see it. Now, right off the bat, you can see that he has a massive weakness to water types. And for that reason alone, I'm actually thinking it's Charizard X right now. Looking at his team, it has to be, a Charizard Mega, but still, very, very weak to rock and water on his team. So, unfortunately for me, I only have one water type. But I still feel pretty confident going in. But let's just say he has a few tricks up his sleeve. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and leave the Breloom, and I actually decided to make a risky play after the bat. I do have the Focus Sash, so I just want to go for the Spore. If that is his Mega Charizard, then, I can get that to sleep, and that's pretty cool. He ends up going out into Landorus and taking the sleep on that, so that's not too bad either. But I am going to go ahead and switch out here, and I decided to go out into my Azumarill because, yeah, it's just a good thing to go into. Like I said, his team is very, very water weak, and this is a Choice Banded Azumarill, so I can hit pretty damn hard without any setup whatsoever with an Aqua Jet or a Waterfall. Now, he's going to go out into Bubblegum here as Clefable. I want to see what a Choice Banded Waterfall will do, and he ends up surprising me here with a Heal Bell. A lot of Clefables don't carry that, but this one apparently does, and he's going to be able to wake up his Landorus, so not too shabby, and I'm just going to stay in here and go for another Waterfall. There's no reason really for me not to. All of his Pokemon at this point are weak to water, so yeah, just I know I can hit no matter what he goes into really hard. He's gonna go into Landorus. He does get the Intimidate, which looks like it did save him, because he just barely survives it. And I am gonna go ahead and switch. I don't want to really take damage on Azumarill because it's just too important. So I go into my own Landorus because Landorus is a pretty decent Landorus check anyway, and he ends up just going for the Stealth Rock. So that's kind of I mean, I was kind of hoping that the Clefable would be the Stealth Rocker, but I should have known that after, seeing the Heal Bell that it probably isn't, and that it was probably the Landorus, and there's nothing really I could have done about that, though. He probably would have outsped my Azumarill anyway. So I'm just going to go for the knockoff. This is a choice, I believe this is my Choice Scarf Landorus, and he's then going to go into a Charizard, which is actually a really nice play if that's what he predicted, because obviously you can't knock off a, Mega Stone. But, yeah, now he's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, and he reveals the Charizard Y. So his team is actually a dual weather team, which, that's pretty damn interesting. He has the Charizard Y for the sun, and he also has the Victini that gets powered up by the sun, but he also has Tyranitar and what I assume to be Sandrush Excadrill, so very interesting team. So I'm going to go out into, I've already done it. I already went out into my Necrozma. Like I said, I was predicting the the physical attacker Charizard X, and I was hoping to get up Stealth Rocks because his team is very, very Stealth Rock weak. But yeah, as you can see, I don't take that Fire Blast very well, and I do switch out, and he ends up switching too. He goes into his Tyranitar to set up the Sandstorm, as I go into my Tyranitar to get rid of the Sun and set up the Sandstorm. So either way, I'm not really sure what to think about a Tyranitar mirror match, so I decided to go into Landorus. And he ends up going for the Toxic, so it's definitely some kind of weird Tyranitar set. And the Toxic is going to hit my Landorus. And now this is a Choice Scarf one, so it's not really that important, not big of a deal, but it just goes on the annoying, level. So either way, I'm going to go ahead and U-turn. He's probably going to go into his own Landorus, and he does, but either way, U-turn will allow me to get the switch advantage, and yeah, I'm just going to go back into Azumarill. Now, I have to be careful with this Azumarill. Now, I know that Azumarill is a good counter to his Excadrill, assuming that it is Sandrush. Yeah, I have to make sure, though, that this thing doesn't get withered down too much. Now, as you can see, he does have Stealth Rock, so he's going to be, eating me up on the switch-in. He has Sandstorm, so he's going to, be doing damage every turn, and that Rocky Helmet as well. So now my Azumarill is sitting here and is lower than half health, so I really need to be sure I preserve it, because that Excadrill is way, way scary if it can come in on the Sandstorm. And not to mention the, Victini and a bunch of other stuff, too. But yeah, it's pretty much my only trump card against his team. So he's going to go back into Clefable as I go into Metagross, and that's a pretty good switch for me, and I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. I believe it goes for a Wish here, and he's just going to Protect to get his HP back. So we know that this is a very, very toolbox Clefable. He has Heal Bell, Protect, and Wish, and I'm assuming one attacky move, probably Moonblast. But yeah, not a very big offensive threat, just a Cleric there. So he's going to go out into Charizard Y now and set up the Drought again, which is, because it, it's a pretty good counter to Metagross. I missed with the Meteor Mash, which is unfortunate. It would have done a decent amount. I mean, it resisted, but Meteor Mash is still pretty powerful, but what can you do? I'm going to go into Tyranitar again because I know I can get my Sandstream up, which will weaken his attacks. Not to mention in the Sandstorm, you know, he can't really do much specially to me. You know, due to the Sandstorm special defense boost for rock types. But, yeah, he ends up double switching here and going into Victini now. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure, I mean, he might carry Brick Break. I mean, some Victinis do, so I'm like, okay, let's play it safe. Let's go on to Landorus, see what he does. I can get the Intimidate off and, you know, just see what he's going to do. And he ends up just going for a U-turn, so that would have done a lot of damage, actually, to Tyranitar. So good thing I did that. Although now he is going to be able to get the switch advantage on me by going back into Prometheus here, his Charizard. And at this point, I'm not 100% sure he knows that I'm a Scarf Landorus, so I decide, you know what, let's try to get rid of this thing. If I can get rid of one of his weather conditions, that might actually help. So I go for a Rock Slide, and that Scarf Rock Slide does connect, and is able to murder the Charizard Y, so that's not too bad for me. And my Landorus is continuing to take damage, and yeah, in comes the Victini again. And this time, well, he still has the Sun to help him, and I really don't feel like taking a V-Crate. I mean, not even, you know, resisted V-Crate will do, well, even a resisted V-Crate for my Tyranitar will do a lot. So I'm like, yeah, I really just can't afford to switch in. I decided to go into Tyranitar now because I think I can take at least one in the Sandstorm. Definitely not the Sun. Well, it doesn't matter because I have Sandstream anyway. It would have been in this sand no matter what. But this is a choice, sorry, not a choice, a Dragon Dance Tyranitar. It's a set I really liked in Gen 4 and 3. Oh, sorry, Gen 4. No, I don't think I got it in Gen 3. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, it's a set I really like in the olden days, and I'm just, you know, going back to it because, you know, it's still pretty strong. And, yeah, he's going to go for the V-Crate, and looking at that damage, I'm like, okay, maybe I can take one more. And I decide to go for it, and I believe I do try to go for the second DD here. No, sorry, no. I predict this Excadrill switch in. I don't. I decide not to be greedy and go for the Earthquake. Too bad the thing has Air Balloon. I was, like, so excited at first when he goes into Excadrill. I'm like, yes, I totally predicted that. Because that Excadrill in the Sand Rush is going to outspeed me even after a +2 Dragon Dance, so that's why I decided to go for the Earthquake. I really should have went for the Crunch, because, you know, Sand Rush, Excadrills tend to carry Air Balloon sometimes, but I kind of derped there, and yeah, that really does suck, because now this thing is successfully in on the Sandstorm. Fortunately for me, I do have 2 Pokemon with priority moves that are, you know, super effective against this Excadrill, so I'm just going to go for a Mach Punch. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't predict it, but he does. It's you know, pretty obvious play, and he's going to go out into his resistance for that sort of thing, and that's Clefable. And being that he doesn't have any Pokemon asleep anymore, and I know I'm going to probably outspeed this Clefable, I decided to put this thing to sleep. I mean, it does kind of help me a little bit, and here I make actually a pretty bad misplay. What I really should have done was try to go into Necrozma here, because Necrozma is really weak, and it really can't outspeed anything on his team, but I really, it would have helped hugely to get Stealth Rocks up, but I didn't even think about it until after I clicked Bullet Punch, so I'm like, because sorry, not Bullet Punch, Bullet Seed. I wanted to see how much Bullet Seed would do, and I only get 2 hits, so if I would have gotten 3 hits there, I might have been able to KO. But, yeah, so here I'm like, okay, unless he gets the first turn Wake, I should be able to get up Stealth Rocks anyway, even though I should have done it and gotten the confirmed Stealth Rocks, but unfortunately he gets the first turn Wake, completely screwing me with Moonblast. But that was my own fault. I really should have went into Necrozma as soon as I put that thing to sleep, in order to, you know, get the confirmed Stealth Rocks, because he has like half his team still that's remaining is weak to Stealth Rocks. It would have been excellent to get off, but that just sucks. Oh well. Anyway, gonna go back into Breloom as he goes out into Tyranitar, and he gets up that Sand Rush again, and yeah, I'm just gonna go for a Spore. He basically decides that he wants Tyranitar sleep. He knew that I was gonna obviously Spore. He had no way to, you know, prevent that, and I guess Tyranitar is what he considers least valuable, which is kind of true. The Tyranitar's purpose really at this point in the match is to set up the Sandstream in order to get his Excadrill off. Either way, he's going to go into Victini here, and like I said, I still don't have a switch-in for a, you know, V-Create. It's just one of those moves that, even if you get a resistance to it, it just hits super hard, and something on my team is dying right now, so I have to really think about what I want to do. I decided to just go for a Mach Punch and let Breloom die, just get some, you know, extra damage. Obviously, he's resisted, but, yeah, he ends up going for a Bolt Strike, so that's probably good. I mean, he was predicting a switch of some sort, I guess. Either way, I guess he was predicting a Zoomerl. although I'm 99% sure that Azumarill would still be taking some decent damage from that, especially since I'm already under half already. Sorry, from just V-Create. Either way, it just goes for that, and it just kills my Breloom anyway. But, yeah, he's going to go an extra drill here as into on my Metagross. Thankfully, I'm able to connect on the Meteor Mash and break the Air Balloon, which is actually critical at this point. But I'm going to have to pretty much sacrifice something to this extra drill, because obviously Azumarill is below half. Tyranitar and Metagross are both weak to Earthquake, so he's obviously going to go for an Earthquake, because it's going to kill no matter what I switch into. And I'm like, okay, I guess Tyranitar has to go. And yeah, Tyranitar goes down, and I'm just going to go into Azumarill. And like I said, I pretty much have to go for an Aqua Jet. I can't afford not to let this thing outspeed me, as he just goes right back into Clefable here. And yeah, I'm going to actually double switch. This was actually a pretty excellent prediction on my part. I knew I needed to get some advantage here, and I knew that he was going to go into Cleffy. Obviously, he's not going to let his extra drill die to an Aqua Jet, so that was a great double switch for me. Just really good for me. And he's just going to go ahead and protect as I go for, obviously, a Meteor Mash. Actually, no, I go for an Earthquake. I think just in case he wants to go out into his, just in case he wants to go into his Excadrill. So that's the thing. He's going to go ahead and switch, though. He goes back into his own Tyranitar. Sorry, he goes out into Victini. I lied. As I switch it up for the Meteor Mash this turn to maybe kill the Clefable. Either way, he's going to be able to kill the Victini because it's pretty weak at this point, and it's pretty, yeah. Anyway, thankfully for me, the Sandstorm does wear off, but he still has that Tyranitar set it up again, and that is unfortunate for me. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and switch out. I know that I had the +1 attack, but I need to, like I said, get some advantage here. I can't afford to actually kill this Tyranitar because of his, Excadrill. So I go into Azumarill, just in case he does, quick switch into Excadrill. But also because, as long as I'm locked into Aqua Jet, he can't really safely switch. He can't afford to go into Excadrill. At this point, I need to stall out the Sandstorm to have any shot whatsoever against the thing. But, yeah, I'm just going to go lock myself into Aqua Jet. Unfortunately, this Sandstorm is withering me down, not to mention the Stealth Rocks, as I said earlier. And I have one more turn of life left on Azumarill. But that 1 HP clutch, because what that does, well, obviously it would have been better if I lasted more turns, but this is basically going to be my last hit. But it doesn't, if I would have died there, he would have been able to go right into Excadrill and just pretty much win. But now I do have a chance. So he knows that if the Sandstorm wears off, he's done. Because I would be able to outspeed him with Mega Metagross. So it's kind of like a mind game here. Basically, he has Clefable, and if I kill this Clefable, he'll be able to go into Excadrill. But if he doesn't, I can go for a weaker move like Ice Punch, especially since he actually made a mistake there going for a Wish. He shouldn't have done that, because now that thing is going to be at full HP, so now it's kind of a mind game, and you know what, I'm like, okay, I cannot afford to go kill the Clefable, I can't afford to go for a Metagross, I need to predict the switch into Excadrill at the right time, or just wait until the Sandstorm wears off, which is my other win condition. And here I decide to go for an Earthquake. It does a little bit more than Ice Punch against the Clefable, but I'm like, okay, he might quick switch here into Excadrill, knowing that he can live an Ice Punch, and there you go. I got the Excadrill on the switch. He felt cornered. He felt like he needed to switch because if he didn't, I was going to be able to, stall him out and stall away the Sandstorm. But thankfully I got the right turn to prediction there when, man, was that a close match. I thought he had there it there several times. I think momentum switched several times. It was a really interesting team. Obviously some really heavy weaknesses on that team. But definitely potent. Definitely extremely just potent. Just dangerous. But leave a comment about what your favorite weather condition or field terrain is. So I'm gonna, combine the two things. Now, obviously, they're slightly different. They became the same concept. They power up certain things. But one can be on the field at the same time as the other. But they're both like field changers that change a certain part of the battle. Obviously, my opponent using both Sun and Sandstorm. Leave a comment about what your favorite is, and see you guys next time. Later.